everybody. Welcome back to the Bears Den. How is everyone doing tonight, guys? Hope you're all having a great night tonight. It is Tuesday night. It is talk show time. So, we're going to be talking about all sorts of video game news and good things going on like that. Hopefully, a lot of good things. There's some that I have that are not the greatest, but hey. Hopefully, there's a silver lining to it all. Either way, this is the time of the week where Alex and I, we just sit here, talk about some video game news going on, occasionally weigh in with our own thoughts and potential predictions as to where things are going, and just kick back, relax, have some fun. I mean, hell, we sit here and drink beers on stream because why the fuck not? Savage, how are you doing? Welcome tonight. Hope your neck is feeling better. Yes, basically what I wound up doing is I came up here yesterday. It was like the middle of the day too that my neck was hurting. Like I came back from lunch and my neck was hurting. But after, so I like took some Tylenol and ibuprofen. Tylenol for the pain, ibuprofen for any sort of swelling. And basically, after dinner, I was just kind of like, you know what, fuck it. Tweeted out, hey, sorry, no stream today. And then just like laid down for an hour and a half on the heating pad on the couch and was just like, yep, this was good. And almost fell asleep numerous times because of it too. So, But as far as my neck, it's just been like a recent series for some reason that my neck has just decided, hey, you know what? I want to be a pain in the ass, or neck in this case, literally. Who knows? But yeah. Hopefully things will be going better. I'm guessing he's ready. I'm ready. Welcome.
Hello, friendo.
Hope things are going well for you.
Well, I was just telling the story of when I got home today. Speaking of stupid, horrible shit, I was attempting to grind a little off stream,
Okay.
in Elden Ring.
Yep.
So I had gotten some forward motion. I had like 30 some change thousand souls on me.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Savage. And died. Okay, cool, no bigs, is what it is.
Yeah.
Then spawned back in. I've completely forgot where my last site of grace was. So I was just holding up because I was just kind of like a little sassy in my pants. Ran right into an empty pit underneath one of the elevators. Nice job, Aquino.
Ouch.
So, yeah. So I went, okay, put that down. Guess I'm just gonna work on getting some stories for the video game show and fuck this game for right this second.
Yeah.
And it was my second day in a row that was also bad. That's
Oof.
Yeah, because like that's the thing is like one good day can last you for several hours in a night. Like in any of the Souls, you know what I'm saying? You get done, you're fucking like cooking up dinner, you're like throwing fucking rosemary on there and shit. 2 bad days in a row. Oh man, like I can deal with one because I played, Souls, but like my god, 2 bad sessions in a row. Fuck me.
Oh god, yeah. I mean,
how about you?
Aside from literally my neck just being a pain in the ass of recent, not bad. I wish I could say my pain has been right there with you on Elden Ring, but it kind of hasn't. My pain is going to be coming in the future, considering I'm doing a mage build right now, where I look at things and they just fall over dead.
Must be nice.
I will say this though, I've kind of expanded this character from being, hey, just running through and doing the mage build to, hey, before I complete the story, I have to get these certain achievements. So I figure, okay, let's just get all the legendary sorceries and incantations before I can complete the.
Are those achievements?
Yes,
Oh, shit.
it's a combined achievement to get all legendary quote unquote sorceries and incantations. There are
I'm
7
assuming
total.
you're looking that up, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, see, again, like, dude, I just keep kicking myself in the dick with this game. I
Yeah.
still have not looked up a single thing, not a single thing. Um, Even Will, the most stubborn guy I know, he has looked shit up at this point.
Hmm.
Like I'm like the last man on this like I'm like Jean Valjean. I'm the first guy on the wall and the last guy on the wall. I just for some reason do not want to do it. I'm like, nope. I'm just gonna strong arm my way through this. I don't care how fucking hard it is. Um, I should
That
probably.
I was gonna say that's admirable, though. I mean, seriously, as stubborn as it is, it shows a lot of willpower.
Yeah, but like if I was talking to like let's okay, to make myself sound a little bit like a dick. If I was talking to a younger kid, I would be like, "Dude, don't do that to yourself. Like you're kicking yourself in the junk for no reason."
Yeah.
And I'm just like totally like, "Nope. This is just the path I've chosen. Fuck it. Anything I get, I get." And like yeah, I don't know. I'm being almost childish, frankly.
Mm.
But like because me and Will were talking about already on our second uh uh Will and I went to the gas station yesterday and he was like talking about that whole meme of like people being like, oh, if you don't use raw strength you're cheating, if you use summons you're cheating, and now it's got to the point it's like if you power on the game you're cheating, you know what I'm saying? Like if you use vision you're cheating in Elden Ring. It's like so ridiculous that like
Oh
we're
yeah.
starting to meme on it, you know.
Yeah.
But I recognize the meme and I'm still doing nothing to change my course. Like, so I don't know.
Mhm. It is what it is.
It is. And I will just always probably be the stubborn Aries that I am, you know? I am still enjoying it, frankly.
Okay.
Um, it has been great. Um, Even with my own kicking myself in the junk. It's been really fun. And I've just been puttering around still,
Oh
you
yeah.
know.
I mean,
Um,
hell, a lot of what I'm doing is still puttering around too. It's just that when it comes time to like, oh hey, fight this boss, flap, it's dead. Okay.
Must be nice.
Unfortunately, I don't have that pain to the degree that you're going through.
Yeah.
That's gonna
Yeah.
come in like later runs for me,
Well,
unfortunately.
that's if you but, like, that's the thing is, like, if you choose to do it, just like every Souls game, if you choose to do that, you know?
There's definitely going to be more runs for me to do of Elden Ring, especially considering how they have an item randomizer.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. That would be fun.
yeah,
That would be fun.
and I can over. I mean, I've done a randomized item randomizer in Dark Souls 1, and it's like, oh, this is really cool. It's like, where can I get some more, man?
Yeah.
So,
My only problem with randomizers is, you either get I mean, it's the stick or the carrot every
oh
time,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Like, you might end up
There's
going
no
out
in
and just being like,
between.
"Oh, here's the, like, most legendary thing that I could, like, literally just start going towards that, and the rest of the game is just a cakewalk." Or you going, "Please, please, God," 'cause what, I love that this has just turned into the "Let's talk about Elden Ring" show.
Well,
Um,
yeah. Mm,
but, you know, uh, it's still very prevalent. Um, it's like going into, like, an Ace Hardware.
mhm.
There are so many tools at your disposal, but if you don't know, and there could be some lurking still in the background that are way better than others, but people have just kind of gravitated towards certain ones so far. So there
Yeah.
could be some shit that is just like completely wild after you fucking, use a bunch of stones to upgrade them, you know?
Oh yeah, yeah. Um, but it's also like the couple of Castlevania Symphony of Night randomizers I've done too. Like there was one I remember you popped in, and like within 5 minutes I had the Krizikrim, and it's like, yep,
Yeah.
okay, fine, we're done with this run.
Yeah, I literally was like, all right, I'm out. Like,
Yeah,
there's no point.
but at the same point
Like,
in time, there was another run. I think you might have missed this one where it didn't give me a good weapon until I was like 2 bosses away from killing Dracula.
Damn.
The entire
That
time I had a brass knuckle.
oof, oof,
That was the
oof.
best weapon it gave me. I'm like, okay, come on, Dracula, let's go.
Put up your dukes. Yeah.
I even asked Chad, I'm like, okay, we have a good sword and we have the brass knuckles. What are we using? We decided to fist Dracula.
Hell yeah. I mean, it's a good call.
Yeah. I mean, hell,
It
we
shows them
went,
who's
we,
boss.
yeah, I mean,
Like,
we came
which
that
one of them-
far already, so it's like, fuck it, why not?
right. Um, what the hell was that?
Stop playing Elden Ring for now, just to play some other shit. I mean, that's fine.
Is that?
Blue.
Yeah. Honestly, I kind of feel him,
Mhm.
uh, frankly, especially because I'm only playing on stream.
Yeah.
So I don't want to grind because here's the conundrum that I'm in. I don't want to grind because I don't feel like I was ever forced to do that in most of the other ones. There might have been a tough section or two where I'd have to like grind out like maybe 2 to 3 levels, 4 if it was like really sketchy. Um, but because this is open world, I just feel like I have never needed this much grinding because it's like you're either getting your head kicked in or you're just one-shotting
Mhm.
anything you come across. And then you like then again there's the next plateau and it's like 20 feet from the same point of grace. If you
Yeah.
walked backwards, you're just killing everything. If you walk forwards, you're getting murked by everything.
Mhm.
And I don't want to say that's like poorly balanced. It's just the open nature of this whole open world thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So I don't want to fucking grind off stream because I feel like that's lame. And I certainly don't want to play it on stream and make people watch me. Like that's boring as fuck. Um, I don't know. And all this again is my own fucking insanity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. So, now that we're fucking 15 minutes into this show, you want to talk about news?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
The sad part is I have some things on Elden Ring too.
Yeah, let's not do that right now.
Yeah, yeah, I wasn't going to.
You can go first though, because I think I went first last week.
Okay. Um well, let's kind of start off with a hopefully good thing. CDPR, CD Projekt Red, for those of you who have been living under a rock for the past decade, I guess, if not more. They're the ones in charge behind the whole Witcher franchise so far as the video games, not the books. There's a whole nother debacle there. I'm not going to get into that. But they have officially announced that they are making a fourth Witcher game. It is not directly titled Witcher 4, though. It is Witcher: A New Saga. So, is it going to be Geralt? Is it going to be someone else? There's a lot of characters in the world.
Be Siri.
Yeah, I couldn't think of her name. That's why I said someone else.
Okay.
um, so it's really interesting. They have officially though said it is going to be Unreal 5 as far as the engine.
Yeah, because they used Unreal for 3, right? Yes.
I believe so.
Yeah. So at least the studio has
Some
prior
knowledge and how to
experience.
use it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
prior experience.
yeah.
Because that really can trip up development if you choose to move like to an engine that you're not familiar with.
Hmm.
That can definitely slow things down.
Yeah.
But I also, since we're talking about this, um, you know, let's just hope they've learned some lessons from Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Take your fucking time. Don't even give us a date
Right.
until you know, like, even in loose, like solidifying concrete,
Hmm.
okay, it's going to be 2 more years. Just don't even do it.
Yeah.
Give us some screenshots, give us some highlights, whatever. But for the love of God, don't. And they pushed back, like what, 4 dates or something?
Oh yeah.
When it was like when it was Cyberpunk,
Hmm.
and even that wasn't enough to fucking stop the myriad of problems,
Oh God, yeah,
um,
yeah,
which we talked about when that game launched.
yep.
Um, and I would say this too. Um, we're now 2 years into next gen at this point, right?
Hmm.
A year and a half into next gen.
Yep.
Don't even do backwards.
Yeah.
Just make next gen and current PCs as your targets. And then if you want to reverse engineer it onto Xbox One and PlayStation 4, fine. But just focus this time because that was clearly one of the issues.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Heard they were talking about making the third Subnautica game. CD
CD Projekt
Projekt
Red?
Red, they're not connected to
No,
that at all, as far as I know.
no.
And I don't see the team behind Subnautica being like, "Hey, someone else take it."
Unless maybe they were publishing. You know, they could
Maybe,
publish.
maybe.
I
Okay,
mean, they got that kind of money now.
yeah.
Um,
And see, now I'm
even with the
actually curious.
like even with the like public nightmare that was Cyberpunk, they ended up selling, I think they said like 1.7 million in the first month.
Oh wow,
So yeah, like they made their nut.
yeah. I will say this though: both Subnautica games were both developed and published by the same company.
Yeah.
So for Unknown
Well,
Worlds to then say, "Hey, CD Projekt Red, be our publisher on this."
I mean, it is free money up front.
Yeah,
You know,
but
that's the greatest advantage of a publisher, frankly. Um, and if I've never even heard of CD Projekt Red publishing anything that wasn't in house.
right, right.
Um, but if they did, they do kind of seem like the hands off kind of company, you know.
Mm,
So maybe it'd just be a check up front. But it's not like Subnautica 2 didn't do well either,
yeah.
you know.
Oh,
Yeah, that
Savage
was.
was talking in general.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That
As
makes
far
sense.
as there being a third Subnautica game in the works, yeah, just by playing through the first two, I can see that completely.
Yeah,
Um,
both of them have done well.
yeah. Oh God, yeah. And the story leaves off on a cliffhanger again, so it's like, okay, yeah, there's gonna be a third.
Yep. I gotta. It's weird. I almost wish that they would do, I don't know, one in space, like where it's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Underwater versus space is very similar one to ones. You're both ostensibly free of gravity. Like, I don't know. I just want a little bit of difference because I watched Jake play a bunch of Subnautica 2 and I was like, this is Subnautica 1 with a like new planet, basically. Um, you
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
I'm not gonna try and be like that guy. Well, Dreamer.
actually,
Yeah. I
actually,
mean, it is same planet. It's just kind of like, okay, this is cool, but I had too many questions in regards to, okay, so you're in the what would effectively in Subnautica 2, you're in the quote unquote tropics near the equator, and it's subarctic conditions. Yeah,
mm,
yeah, yeah.
apparently not a lot of geology or what do they call that? Geography students there.
Apparently, I guess. So it's like,
Oh,
okay, that's unique.
they were on the not they were on the top or the bottom.
I don't know. But
Um,
it'd be
hmm.
interesting to see what the third one has. I kind of can already see where it's going, but I don't know. Who knows? We'll
It's
find
fun.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, and don't worry about it, Savage. That's one of the reasons that this show and hanging out with you guys is fun, is because we get to talk about all this shit with you guys. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like this is more of an open forum kind of a show. Like,
Hmm.
so and we appreciate you being here to have to interject and like have these conversations.
Yep.
Um, so is it me?
Yes. Yes.
Um, wow, I really set this up poorly. There we go. So, All right. I'm just gonna make this super fast, but I fucking hate Kotaku. Um, I know that like part of our gig to do this show is to go to all these different websites and read all these and get the fucking knowledge so that everyone here doesn't have to read this shit
Mhm.
because seriously, God, ugh. But um there's a lead in here that's going to blend beautifully into the next topic. So just let me go on a teeny rant here for a sec.
Sure, sure.
All right. So, um they made a video with the clickbaitiest click of all time. All the April Fools jokes that gaming had to offer on April 1st. I don't know if you guys are new to the planet Earth. Yeah, I don't like reading news either, but I do it, for you
Yeah.
guys and and no one else is gonna do it, so I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm the DM and fucking when we play D&D, I will read all the books. Um just so we can play. So this video, so I clicked the link and I'm like, all right. I had seen a couple. This April's 1st wasn't that good.
Yeah.
Most
Oh yeah.
companies
Very
didn't
tame.
really do, yeah, very tame. And most of the things that came out were so unbelievable that it wasn't like the traditional April Fool's thing.
Right.
Like, okay. Um so I clicked the fucking thing, loads to the next page. It's got a video that is auto playing with the volume maxed. So the first thing that happens is, okay, that's mad annoying. Think about somebody who was in an office. I wasn't. I had gotten home, and you know what I'm saying? Like, what if
Mhm.
you were in an office and you didn't put your headphones in? Like, dude, that's not cool. Um,
Whoa,
next,
before
good.
we continue though, what about the simple fact of I have my headphones in, play,
Right.
and it's like,
Yeah,
dear
right.
God, guys, what the
Like,
fuck?
right. I'd like to maintain all 5 of my senses throughout my life. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, please don't blow out my eardrums.
Oh yeah.
Um, Super obnoxious. And autoplay? What are you fucking new here? It's the internet. You never autoplay. You
Oh God,
always
no.
just let the person click on it.
Hmm.
But I know the way they did it and why they did it
Yeah.
because it means if anyone clicked on it, the video automatically starts.
Hmm.
So it's an automatic click on your YouTube video.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You scumbags. Okay. Next, it was 45 seconds long and there was no audio, no commentator. It was just text and it was going by so fast that I had to scroll back a couple of times to even see what the content was. So this was just a whole clickbait fucking bullshit that you blew my eardrums out. And frankly, yeah, okay. So, the first time through, I caught nothing except for the one that the guys from Among Us did, which like again was super tame. They were like, we're gonna make a horse guy, so it was the little dude, and they just extended his butt and he had 4 legs.
Yep.
Frankly, that really, I guess
I
that
mean,
like is that even
you
is
could
that even
almost be like,
news?
hey, look, this is actual going to. We're putting this in the game for some reason.
Right. Is that's not wild in any way. That's not funny in
Yeah.
any way. Like that was just like, oh, okay. Like frankly, that could have been a thing, and I would have been like,
Yeah.
sure. I mean, whatever. I would have passed right by it. Um, then I just like I was like, all right, I don't care. So at the end of the day, I ended up finding one good April Fool's thing. But here's the fucking caveat: it ended up not being an April Fool's thing because it's actually in game.
Hmm.
The House Flipper team
Oh God.
made a level that is the Friends apartment from the show from the 90s and the early 2000s. So in House Flipper now, you can go into the Friends, Monica and Rachel's apartment
Yeah.
is now in House Flipper. And
Okay.
it wasn't even mentioned. That was the coolest thing I had seen from all of the shit. Wasn't even mentioned in this 45-second long video.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was just terrible. It was just such like a good example of why I fucking hate Kotaku. Like, it was a perfect example. And here was the other fucking last thing. When I loaded into that page, it came down with like the browser bit of like some stupid ad bullshit.
Yep.
So I had to like fucking X out of that to get to the place where I could turn the fucking volume down. Like, was God, that was just a cavalcade. That in and of itself, if they had been like, April Fools, this was hilariously done. It wasn't though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they had framed it that way, maybe that would have been funny, but
Yep.
um
Yep.
yeah. So there's my April Fool's thing and my I hate Kotaku thing all in one.
Okay. Seeing how you just did an April Fool's thing, I'm gonna add to that
Okay.
with one that I found. The makers of Factorio. They decided, hey,
Okay.
we're gonna release some patch notes for a patch on April 1st. And they said, hey, okay, there's been a lot of controversy around this topic of NFTs. We've had a lot of offers come in, some of them incredibly silly, some of them actual serious offers that have been very tempting. So what we've done is we've looked at what we've got in game and how we can do that as NFTs. So they go through this spiel of how there's blueprints in the game that players create. And they're going to have some sort of marketplace where you can buy and sell, and there's more details here at this link. And it's like, okay, well, you're a very beloved company by its fan base, and you're now looking at this blockchain that is hated by all. Clicks link. Never gonna give you up.
Yeah.
Never gonna
Yep.
let.
Yeah.
It's like
That's the classic.
Yep.
That's
Nice.
the classic. That is literally the classic.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to interrupt you while you were saying it, but I was like, he's gonna get rickrolled right here.
Yep.
Yeah. See, that's classic.
See, and that was good. The only downfall I would say of this one, though, was it was pure wall of text. So unless you go down and actually click on that final
Which
link,
most people are not going to.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, that was actually good. So
Okay. Okay. Well, Savage just said that Phasmophobia also put up an update like that they were going to, and it also was false.
yeah.
That's okay. Like, that's okay.
Yeah.
I feel like we're the highlight years for me was like 2016 to like 2018 when motherfuckers were like making whole new bits to their game for however long it took them, a couple of months, and then it was like an actual thing that you could play that was also a joke. You know what I'm saying? Like, that to me, that's primo.
Yeah.
This just being like Shenlong's in Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
Like, dude, yeah, EGM did that legitimately 30 years ago. Like, this is getting a little weak. And everyone's so on their toes about it. You want to do a real fucking good April Fool's joke? Put it out on fucking March 31st.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, put something out on March 31st. If you want to do something like the friend's house, I love that idea. Like, you know, it's just free content, right?
Yeah.
That's just free content, so whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like, either go all in or fuck off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Especially considering as soon as it becomes April 1st, everyone's like, okay, any announcements are all false. So don't even listen to them, kind of a thing.
And yet, I still was seeing people on different threads of different things being like, wait, what? And then somebody going beneath them, dude, it's April 1st. So, like, I can't believe that there's still some, like, starry-eyed people who are walking onto the internet for the first time in 2022 believing anything that's in front of them. I can't believe that there's anyone who's done that for 10 years at this point.
Yep.
But, yeah, I don't know.
I honestly, at this point, I think the absolute best April Fool's joke that a company could pull would be Valve announcing on Steam Half-Life 3.
That would never work. If it was announced on April 1st, it would never work.
Yeah, I know.
Everyone would know. Everyone would know. You know what you
But there are so
could
many
do?
fanatics that would sit there and be like, "No, it's real, it's real." And it's like, no, it's not.
You know what maybe could work? Team Fortress 3. If you made a Steam page and you actually had some like updated art for all the classes, which would be relatively cheap, but some effort on your part,
Yeah,
make the Steam page. And how many people are gonna really flip out about that, except for like me and like the other like turbo nerds. Um, like I think that would be better because Half-Life 3 at this point is a joke,
yeah,
like in and
yeah.
of
Very
itself.
much true.
That's 365, right?
Yeah,
But maybe something like that, or I don't know, Left 4 Dead 3. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like something that would be believable-ish, but nah, psych. Like, you know, it'd be really funny. Put the web page up on the 31st, and then on the first, be like, yeah, come on, dude. Like, yeah,
yeah.
no, like, bump with a big sticker, fake. Like that would be funny. Um,
That would be good
Bloodborne,
too. Yeah.
yeah, Bloodborne coming to fucking PC. That would be good. That would be good. It
Hmm.
would infuriate everyone,
Oh,
but like
yeah, but oh well.
that would 100% be a good one.
Yep, yep. Hmm. Is it me or you?
I thought no Kotaku into, so I actually technically kind of did two right there. So you go for it.
Okay. Um. Well, we're gonna go with this one. This should come as a shock and amaze to absolutely nobody. You
Half-Life
know,
3 is coming out tomorrow.
darn it, you guessed right. No, you remember when Twitch announced that they were introducing their new boost program,
Oh
so
yeah,
people can buy viewers and things like that to boost them up.
we talked
And
about it
yep,
on this show.
yep, we did. We even said that that was a bad idea. We even showed how it literally does nothing for people. They are now suspending the program indefinitely because porn made it to the front page. Yep, that's right. People paid on Twitch to boost porn channels, and it got to the front page.
Yep. And because of the way that Twitch works, every article I read, they have no idea who did it because anybody could just make a free thing and then become a streamer and then just boost themselves with real world money.
Yep,
And so, that kind of blew up in your face.
yep. Yeah, oh my god, indeed. Yeah. Should have totally seen this one coming there,
Mm-hmm.
Twitch. But the funny thing is, though, they say in the article that they're still trying to figure out how to bring discoverability to the platform so smaller streamers or anybody can more easily find channels that do what they are in, that the viewer is into. Um, Here's a novel fucking idea. In all of our profiles, have like a preferences of what we'd like to watch. Big streamers, small streamers. What sort of content do we like? Dark Souls content or racing content, sim content. You're fucking Amazon. You have the technology.
Yeah,
Maybe
but they don't
start
have the
with
fucking
that.
like. Okay, I would like to talk about this for a little bit. So, yes, that is certainly an idea. Um, I think another thing that should be available as a viewer, I should be able to go, I'm interested in this, this, and this. Then it should be based on something like the amount of viewers that are engaging, new viewers that are engaging without paying any money. Because right now it's based on like hype trains and shit,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And like I like the hype train thing. I've never gotten one because duh, it's me.
Mhm.
But I think that incentivizes paying money, and I don't really think that should be the thing. I feel like like people should only give money to streamers that they really care about, and they basically shouldn't even fucking pay like AAA streamers, like or even AA streamers. Frankly, if you're getting like over, let's even just call it an average viewer count of 250. I'm just picking a number.
Mhm.
You aren't eligible to be in these categories, right? So you go to the homepage, obviously the shit that's like streamed, like that's like Twitch wants you to see. I never even look at any of that crap like on the top.
Yeah.
But then there's that second one that's down below. That one should be modifiable to the Twitch viewer.
Mhm.
And they could be like, hey, I'm looking for kind of like this, kind of like maybe some of this, maybe some of this. And it should be based on how many recent viewers, how long that person has streamed, how many unique chatters there have been, how many new follows there have been in the last month, like things that are not money based. We're just looking at like things that are people are interacting with more, not so much the money thing. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. When you created your account on Twitch, asked you what games you like to watch.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
not enough.
Yeah.
That's not enough.
Because I mean, yes, the Twitch can sit here and ask you what games you like, um, but
What
at the
about
same,
tomorrow when a new game comes out? That
well,
game wasn't even listed.
yeah, that, but also the thing of even if it's just split up by genres. Well, okay, if that bar beneath the front page kind of thing, if that bar is populated by like what genres you like to watch, okay, racing. How many racing games are there? Sports, fucking
Right.
dear God, like you're
Right.
never gonna see anything else other than sports in there. If you like sports and horror, you're never gonna see the horror games in there because there's so many freaking sports.
And the things that they put up are only the guys who have 500 plus 1,000 plus
Hmm.
viewers.
Oh yeah.
So like again, we're talking about trying to get views to like small dudes like you and me,
Hmm.
right?
Yep.
So shit, you know what there should be? A category that's literally like small streamers.
Yeah. Oh God.
And
Yeah.
like you basically have to break out of that tag.
Hmm.
Like it's like a Twitch achievement where they're like, hey, your average streams have now broken 250. I'm just picking a number still. You no longer get that tag. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you just will not appear in those searches. You have to, and then shit, it should be like teeny individual weirdos should be one where it's like this
Baby's
guy
first
only
stream.
streams. Right, exactly. Like, because I mean, when I go and like when I'm searching like a game, usually, right?
Yeah.
Um, I don't even start at the top. I like do the wheel like a couple of times,
Yep.
and then I go, okay, is it less than let's call it 10? Because
Hmm.
I like the interactivity.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yes, I do watch a couple of big streamers every now and then. But like that's not what I'm on Twitch for. I'm on Twitch for the hangs and
Hmm.
like the bullshitting. Um, so like I feel like that should be like yeah, baby's first stream. Like, you know, this guy isn't even that should be one.
Yeah. Non-affiliate.
Non-affiliate.
Yeah.
Affiliate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
those should be the things that because I think those are more important to the people who are searching on Twitch. It's like the Twitch rules and the guys who are making them don't actually watch Twitch. And if they do, all they care about is the bigger number of people because that's what makes Amazon the money.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
they don't give a shit about us because we don't exist to them. They take 30+% of my money. Which by the way, can we talk about the fact that like capitalist wise, tinfoil hat Alex really hates the fact. I feel like if you get into thousands of viewers, they should take 40% of your money and 20% of mine. It
Yeah.
should be on a sliding scale,
Hmm.
just like fucking corporations getting taxed. Should be kind of the same thing, you know? Because if you're like, and most of those guys get sponsors and shit. It's like, dude, I'm just some guy. I struggle to break $100 to get paid out like once every 6 months. I maybe get paid out, you know? Um, and that's okay. And that's what some of us, me included, when multiple of my friends stream, do you know how I judge which one? Even if I'm just gonna go lurk.
Whoever has the least is my guess.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's exactly right. That is exactly right. So if you and Jake and Paul and like and Kay are all streaming, whoever's got the lowest, that's where I go and I lurk. And if it changes, like I'll tab back and forth. I switch to the other person's.
What I do in situations like that, where it's like you're streaming and Storm and some others are all streaming, I'll pull up a multi-Twitch.
Yep.
Because that way I can literally just slide the volume all the way down, not to mute it, but slide it down so it's still audible, but because that still counts as a view at that point.
Yep.
But if it's muted, it's not.
Yep.
And that way I can just like automatically adjust who I want to listen to at what point. And it's like, okay, I'm viewing for all you guys.
Yep. It's insane how much small streamers have to do to get any visibility in this field.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Like, you know,
small timers need 11 too. Yep, exactly.
Goddamn right. Consensual loving.
Yes. Person in Reels chat says he leaves the channel on because he gets rated. Couldn't interact with us. Yeah.
What did that say? You kind of muted. He kind of went.
Yeah. A person in Riddles chat said he leaves the channel because he got rated because he couldn't interact with the broadcaster.
Right.
And it's like, okay.
I mean, that's how a lot of people are.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like. I don't really understand the concept of being like, I'm going into somebody who's streaming to 25,000 people.
Yeah, I
like
don't fully
at that point you're just watching TV.
Yeah, because
like,
following a chat in that is impossible.
Right. And that's even if it's on slow. It's like blah, 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 blah. It's like, I don't know, like that's just TV.
Yep.
I
mean, hell,
and if you're
I was gonna say, hell, I remember watching GDQ a couple of years ago, even when it was like 100,000 plus viewers, and back before they made it sub only for their events, it was just like it's like, yeah, no, not
whenever right. And like whenever I do that, I just fucking maximize the screen because I'm clearly just watching for the content.
Yeah,
right. Like
exactly.
I'm watching for the guy who's playing.
Yeah.
And man, you got to be really fucking good at whatever you're playing for me to actually do that. Like, frankly, yeah, I don't know. It's just such a weird space now. It like, I weirdly wish that I had like gotten in on Twitch earlier, and I wish I hadn't done Mixer. But at the same time, I don't care because I'm still doing exactly what I want to do, which is kind of hanging out with everybody, shooting the shit, talking about whatever I want to do, hanging out with you, like making content that I give a fuck about. So whatever, like, yeah. But it is pretty absurd that their idea was, hey, if you just hit a button, you just put a bunch of money into it. Like, this should work out well. Like, you don't see this? Oh, nope, just boobies on your front page. That took all of 2 weeks. Good stuff. Nice job, guys.
Yeah.
Idiots.
Gotta love the idiots when they're left to be in charge.
Yep. All right. So, I guess I can turn that one off. Boop. All right. So, I guess. Oh, you know what? Boobies are fun. Everybody thinks fun stuff is fun.
Yeah.
People, fun stuff is fun stuff. You know, butts, boobs, dongles, all that stuff. It's fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's disagreeing with you. Nobody's disagreeing with that, except for the West Baptist Church people. And fuck those guys.
Oh jeez.
So big news this week, in addition, was no E3 digital, which was the only thing that had been announced so far for E3. They had said a couple of months back that they weren't going to do a live event again. But they were like, we're coming back this year. We're doing a digital version. It's going to be great. Boom. It looks like we are. I know what we had said.
Yep. They are not going to be doing a digital one, which, I mean,
it's kind of an end of an era, right? Because, and this kind of goes into what we were just saying. If you leave the like online space, if you leave the headspace of people for even 1 year, you lose an ass ton of money. Plus, you just lose that like momentum that like essentially you need
Mhm.
to be in the online space at this point. Um man, that's rough though, cuz my assumption is we ain't going to get another one next year.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, you know, um and that was something that like as a kid I always wanted to present a game there because dude, we grew up,
Oh
you know,
yeah,
in the in aught six.
yeah.
um and I always wanted to bring a game to E3 because you know we were reading Electronic Gaming Monthly, we were reading like all you know PSX, like all that shit.
Mhm.
Even the official Xbox magazine. That was always a huge deal, and that next issue after July, the August issue was
Mhm.
always a banger
Yep.
because there was so much news and like so I always thought, man, fuck, I'd do anything to make myself have a game and be present at E3 and present to that many people. Because other than Gamescom, um, the one or not Gamescom, that's the Tiger system. Um, the one in Germany, and I wanted to say GameSpot next, but that's wrong.
No, that's not
Didn't-
a. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
damn it, that's bumming me out. But anyways,
Yeah.
the one in Germany. Hey, um, that's a real bummer. That's a real bummer. Um, no more E3, probably.
To be fair, though, I want to say it was about 5 years ago now,
Hmm.
5 or 6 years ago. They announced that there was going to be. They were doing a E3, but it was not open for public.
Yes.
So it was
Right.
like developers, reporters,
Yep.
things like that. And it's
Right.
like, okay, so the masses that you really want to like get hooked on
Show
something, you're sitting here saying, here's the boot, bonk, it's now a only like special
trade
people
show.
club.
Trade show.
Yeah. And it's kind
Yeah.
of like, well, great, cool. You're
But again, they also rescinded that in 2018.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
In 2018, they rescinded that. Um,
Okay.
and I can't remember what their rationale was for that, but I do remember that. And then in 2018, they did open it back up to the public, and then literally 2019, and then that was it.
Yep. Yep.
There we go. That's all she wrote.
Yep.
Um, it just sucks when something like as big as the second biggest gaming convention in the world ends up going out with a whimper.
Hmm.
You know, not a bang, a whimper.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
and I know that, like, really realistically, the it's so expensive, right?
Hmm.
That was in a huge fucking place with tons, but like it started happening when like Nintendo started bowing out,
Hmm.
right? Nintendo bowed out pretty early. They were like, "We're gonna send you some video," basically, which was basically ended up what they transferred into Nintendo Directs. Which, by the way, weirdly, good job, Nintendo, for actually seeing the future and actually doing that.
Yeah.
E3 should have seen that, and then what was that? That was 2019 when Sony and Microsoft started having theirs in their own little play spaces within it.
Hmm.
Like, man, if you were forward thinking, you would have been like, okay, I kind of see the writing on the wall. Um, let's maybe change it up. We'll go to an online only format. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, I don't know.
Yeah. Because I mean,
It's just good.
no, go. Go. Sorry.
No, good.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, even in the article that I found of this, they even sat there and said that they're going to instead we will devote all our energy and resources to delivering and revitalizing physical and digital E3 experience next summer. A lot of people are also interpreting this as, okay, we're trying to find a way to still stay relevant in
Right.
what we do. And realistically, yeah, it is a thing of they need to somehow find a way to stay relevant because with the big three going to digital as far as their showcases.
And Valve coming in
Yep.
doing the next program where you can literally any person without watching anything. There's just here's a week of you can just go and download these demos and play them.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's definitely way more the future
Yep.
than people flying out to LA, which no offense to LA's kind of a 7-Eleven that's like sprawled out across like a shit ton of miles.
Yeah.
A 7-Eleven with dodgy air conditioning.
Mm.
So I don't know. It just sucks to like have them be like, I hate seeing things when there was I don't even know when this was at this point when it was the last physical printing of Nintendo Power. It just sucks to watch some of this like classic shit get taken from us. And E3 is certainly classic for better or for worse. And I don't know, nothing. And then you're gonna scramble to try to like find some way to find relevance. It's like, ugh,
Yeah.
not a good look, bro.
No, not at all.
100% could be rose tinted glasses on my part, though. Just putting that out there.
Hmm.
Well, because it was a big deal back in the day.
Oh, I'm not debating that at all. I mean, it definitely was.
Lay your butt.
Oh, that's why I deleted. Okay.
Is it me or you?
I want to say
Oh,
me.
it's you. Yeah. It's you.
Okay. This is fun. You remember the Marvel Avengers game that came out, not the Guardians of the Galaxy one, but the Marvel Avengers. Okay, yeah. Apparently the PS5 version, there was a game-breaking crash on it. Okay. Or in it. The funny thing is, the development studio acknowledged it. They're like, hey guys, we discovered that there's this game-breaking crash that some of you have been reporting on PS5, blah blah blah. We have this great workaround. Basically, fire up the game, exit out to the dashboard, the PS5 dashboard, force quit the game, and delete your campaign progress.
Yay!
Yeah, it's like, guys, that's not a workaround.
Okay, well, technically, I don't want to be that guy, but technically that is a workaround. But losing all your data is not like the best workaround.
I know.
That's super funny. So go out, take a nail. It has to be at least 6 inches or longer. Place it upright on the ground, and then step as hard as you possibly can onto it. That will now fix the crash.
Yes. But honestly, everybody who was responding to the tweet was like, that's not a workaround. That's just us basically saying, okay, uninstall game, and I've never finished it, so it's just going on the shelf and fuck that game, kind of a thing.
The workaround is driving down to GameStop and turning it in and getting $4 for the fucking thing. And then
wow, you must have got a rare copy then.
Right, and then taking that $4 back to your house and flushing it down the toilet. That is the workaround.
Yeah.
God damn, that is fucking terrible, dude.
Well, I will say this: there is some good news though. They announced it. They announced the workaround the next day, and then the following day they were like, "Oh, by the way, we have this fix, and it's going out now." So they acknowledge it, they give the workaround, and then they send out the patch. Literally, boom.
But wouldn't that piss you off even more if you were like, all right, well, I guess I have to delete my data now. So you delete your data, and then literally it's like 12 hours later, they're like, and the patch went out. You'd be like, wow, boy, howdy. Square Enix, you can suck the fattest, floppiest dick on the planet. That thing is going to look like an eggplant. Ugh. God, that's terrible. And that's bad.
Yep.
That is so bad.
Yep.
That's a great case of shut the fuck up. Who was in marketing? Who said to do this? Why are we sending this? Oh my god,
Uh,
that is fucking hilarious.
gotta love how companies work sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And they
Mm.
had to. Okay. What? Okay. What are you doing? What are you doing?
He's
What are
like,
you
I want
mad
some
at?
attention.
What are you mad at? Okay. All right. All right. There you go. There you go. All right. All right. Okay. You just went out like an hour and 10 minutes ago, and he was just rolling around on the bed like a lunatic. Okay. Good job, Piggy. You did
Uh,
it. All right. Now get your butt. I got to stream. Move your ass. Go on. Go lay down. I love you so much, though. All right. Do one more. I'm going to let him out real quick.
okay.
Apparently, this is very important to him.
Yeah,
He
apparently.
goes and checks on the neighborhood. He's like fucking Batman, except for he doesn't do anything. Technically, kind of like Batman. Okay, stop.
Oh, oh, ouch. Hmm. Alrighty. Well, seeing how we're doing another one here, unfortunately, Sony decided, hey, you know what? We're going to be the bad guys this week. Well, part of the bad guys, I should say. And Sony PlayStation decided, hey, we're going to let these 90 people from our retail marketing team go. Some of them were given 2 weeks notice, some of them even less. That in general sucks, because especially with a lot of the non-revolving door departments of the video game industry, they're typically, people in those departments are typically given a lot of forward notice. So at the bare minimum, you'd be looking at like 2 weeks notice kind of a thing. And for those of you who don't know what some of the revolving door departments are, things like quality assurance, customer service, a lot of those areas are just, hey, look, someone's pissed off that they have to test this portion of the game for the 47 millionth time. Oh, okay, they're fired. Quick, someone new. Oh, okay, fine. We have 15 people trying to get through the door. Yay. That's one of the revolving door kind of situations, departments. Usually retail marketing I would not think would be a revolving door one, but they decided, hey, we're just gonna like boot these 90 people out of a job. The reason being is because they were citing global transformation due to the pandemic and how our digital sales are up 62%. It's like, yeah, because the pandemic, 62% is why your online sales went up. But hopefully, in theory, when people actually start taking their heads out of their asses and like wearing a mask and being safe about all this shit, some people will
Activision.
actually want to go back to buying physical copies. No, Sony PlayStation.
Oh, okay.
They basically fired their
Yeah,
a lot of their retail marketing team.
I saw that.
With
Record profits too.
yeah, that's the thing. Is it's like, okay, so you still have 38%, which was retail physical copies being sold, but apparently that wasn't
Really?
enough. Yeah, they're actually no, I don't remember the specifics on the thing. Was it just an increase, or was that the total sales?
Yeah, I was gonna say probably total sales because I can't imagine that retail in this day and age went up 38%. But I mean, maybe it could.
Yeah,
I mean,
62% of all games sold over the course of the last year were digital copies.
right.
So in other words, 38% were still physical retail copies, and it's like you're basically saying, "Oh, hey, retail marketing team, flush."
Hey, fuck yourselves.
And the thing is, though, retail marketing's not just, "Oh, hey, physical game copies being sold."
Right.
It's all the like merchandising and
Yep.
billboards and ads and things like that, and that's
I mean, to be fair, I will. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say, fuck marketing people, and I don't care about them. Fuck those people. Fuck marketing. They
that
are
is true. Considering
so.
half the time they don't even get the shit right.
They are literally so disconnected from the actual artist creating art. Fuck those people.
Yeah, I will
You
give them
go
that
lay
though.
down.
I mean, the marketing teams in general, whether it be retail or digital, they do not communicate well with pretty much anybody in their own department, and also the information that they're supposed to get from the other departments. There's usually vast disconnections there. So it kind of sucks that Sony PlayStation did that. Especially considering they did it with, at most, some people were receiving a 2-week notice. Others were like, hey, by the way, there's the door, leave.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, holy shit. Like, I would expect that from either, like, customer service or QA, but not really digital marketing or marketing in general.
QA, they drive your own car to your cubicle and they're like, get in. All right, see you later. Don't come back.
Yeah, exactly.
We charged you for the gas. We know you paid for it, but we charged you for it too.
The QA, it's actually just drive-thrus.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. What do I got next? So, oh, you want to hear something funny?
Oh boy.
All right. So in a recent tournament match of Call of Duty Vanguard, a streamer named Kenji he's a casual semi-pro, which is such a weird terminology. He's basically just some dude, and he's also a streamer. Right? How do you become a casual semi-pro?
Yeah.
Those two words are incongruous.
Mm-hmm.
But he was playing in an online tournament, a checkmate gaming competition, and was playing a 2v2 match when one of his opponents claimed that he was using wall hacking. So if you don't know, wall hacking is basically you can see through solid objects to see your opponents on the other side. So this fucking 5-brained mega 200 fucking IQ human being decides to prove his innocence by setting up an off-monitor camera to record his gameplay. So basically a camera that was sitting here looking at his gameplay. Not an on-monitor means you're showing exactly what you're seeing. Basically exactly like we're doing right now. Right.
He basically
Like
took his phone and was like, hey, look, this is what I see. I'm
setting it up and I'm showing you.
Yeah.
But this fucking mega genius did not realize that he totally was using walls, and the way he had set them up was to basically flash little tiny yellow squares over where they were momentarily. So it was like 2 seconds, less, maybe even 1.5. And so everyone saw that and went, you mean that yellow square there? You mean that yellow square there? You mean that yellow square right there? So yeah, he totally got caught. Got banned. Which is fucking hilarious in and of itself. Then I started reading a little bit further into it. So this checkmate gaming competition was an online tournament that was part of their collegiate set. So Call of Duty has like a battle in dorms kind of a thing, where you play for certain teams that represent your college. And you can actually earn college tuition. When you win, you don't always win money personally, but it goes directly towards your college tuition.
Yeah.
Which I genuinely think is actually pretty cool. Like from a COD standpoint, that's cool. But here was the funny part. I then went and looked at which team he was representing, and by team, college. So, you know, like, was he on Miami? Was he on the Go Blue, Michigan? Yep. No. You know who he was representing? Do you know those late night ads for online colleges?
Oh, God.
Yeah. Do you know the Grand Canyon College?
Oh, jeez.
That's what he was on. So he was repping the Grand Canyon College, which is an all online degree course. And not only did he get himself completely and totally banned. But he got Grand Canyon University also completely banned. Talk about failing somehow down even further. Jesus Christ. Like anyone going to Grand Canyon University was like thinking, well, I could go into this COD maybe, and I could be like, nope, that fucking Kenji completely fucked you guys too. So yeah, Grand Canyon University completely fucked. They are now no longer eligible for any sort of COD team. I just found that to be absolutely fucking hilarious.
Well, as they do say, one bad apple ruins the bunch.
Yes, a bunch of fucking tardos because Grand University
Yeah.
Candy. Like, come on. Every time I kept reading it, I'm actually impressed that I got through it without like on purpose fucking up the name. I was like, University Grand Canyon fronts. Nope, that's the wrong. Okay, Grand University Canyon. Nope, that's wrong too. Like, that's how fucking prestigious this academy is. Like, and now I'm excited for the next time that I'm watching YouTube at like 2 in the morning and it's gonna be like Grand Canyon University. And be like, I can't go there. I can't even get my COD scholarship. It's so good. It's such a good fucking fail. Oh man.
That's cool.
That's wicked good. Like, and you know how I love and the fact that he was going to an online college and that like his answer to prove that he wasn't cheating still showed that he was cheating 100%. It's like, is there something like University of Phoenix maybe online? Maybe you should go to them, transfer down.
Who knows?
All right. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the fact that I've seen that many universities online maybe says something about me too. That I actually had knowledge enough to make both those jokes. But yeah, I thought that was funny.
Yep. Alrighty.
Also, when are we ever gonna fucking report on those fucking campuses ever? Campuses.
Yeah, true. Well, here's actually a good one because of the simple fact of how good you can make old school games with new school technology.
Okay.
I
already know what this is gonna be.
Yeah, I bet you do. The good old classic Doom that literally runs on everything, including refrigerators and toasters.
Mm-hmm. And TI-82s.
Yeah, exactly. Well, some people have been very, very busy working on this new mod that they came up with, which takes the classic Doom, or at least most of it. It's not all the episodes yet.
Yep.
It's like I want to say it was just the first 2 episodes is what they've got, and uses RTX ray tracing, and you have to use a NVIDIA card for this. That is one of the stipulations on this mod too. Unfortunately,
it's very specific.
Yes, but the fact that they have it be using the ray tracing for all the lighting and everything, it looks freaking sick as hell.
Yeah.
And just like the one scene where they have in their quick little like 10-second video of the cacodemon and it firing a fireball, and then as it's firing it lights up the corridor so you can see things. It's like, whoa.
The rocket does the same thing too.
Yeah.
Where the back of the rocket also does the ray tracing lighting on it. Yeah, it actually like I kind of clicked on it being like, I mean, it's Doom. Like I am a Doom guy. So I was like, I gotta check it out. I was like, damn, all right. Damn, I don't use NVIDIA because NVIDIA's garbage. So all right. But it is really cool. And it once again proves that Doom actually is eternal.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Like every new technology that comes out until basically humanity burns out and dies on this mud ball, people will always apply it to Doom and Doom 2. that's how classic those games are.
Yep.
But it really did look cool as shit,
Oh
like,
god, yeah,
frankly.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, if I had a graphics card capable, I'd be like, okay, how do I do this again?
yeah,
Set this up. And
I probably wouldn't have to, like, I've already, like, I platinumed them on fucking 360. I've beaten them all, every single, like, almost up to nightmare difficulty, ultra hard on, like, everything.
yeah,
I think, but I might do it just to, like, be like, ooh, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. I mean, that's more the thing of this whole piece was just like, ooh, that looks really cool.
Hmm.
I mean, not really to like challenge myself and be like, oh, I got to do it on like ultra nightmare violent difficulty or no, fuck that shit.
No,
Just like,
just a look.
woo,
And it's funny because the models are still the same, like, paper cutout
yeah,
models.
yeah,
So, like, the lighting hits them in the front and then instantly turns off the instant they cross the, like, Z axis.
yep,
Um,
that's
but
cool.
it, like, the environments looked really dope,
Yeah,
like,
oh yeah.
going through.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, that, like, and not only that, it just once again proves, like, how much the Doom fan base gives a shit about that. Who
Oh
would
god, yeah.
spend that much time? I certainly know. I love those games. I
Hmm.
would never do that. I'd rather make something new. Like, I would rather create something
Hmm.
than to mod something to this point. But man, that's cool. I
Hmm.
love the nerd community because of the shit like that, you know?
Oh god, yeah, yeah. Apparently, they've also been at least trying to do it for Quake 2 as well. Because they mention it for Quake 2 in the same article, and it's like, okay,
That's interesting because Quake 2 actually uses 3D models too.
yeah. So,
That could actually be pretty impressive.
yeah.
That could be pretty impressive. You know what? Since we're talking engine things, let's roll delightfully into this fast one that I got. The Unreal Engine 5 is finally officially released.
Hmm.
Um, After a year, I think, of early access, um, and that faux Tomb Raider demo,
Mm.
um, uh, it is legit out. So if you are a developer, uh, that is 100% an option now. It looks good. I Tomb Raider actually coincidentally also announced that they are going to be using it for the next one.
Hmm. Same with,
Let's
as we mentioned, same with the next Witcher game.
Yep. But Witcher used Unreal uh 4 for Witcher 3.
Right.
Tomb Raider has never used it.
True. Very true.
So that is the difference there.
Hmm.
We'll see what comes of that. But you know, hey, man, I like the Unreal Engine. I think it pretties up shit real good. Like, it's not as easy peasy as everyone makes it out to be. It's not Unity. Unity is fucking easy peasy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you want things to be pretty, Unreal.
Oh god,
Um,
yeah.
and that also means that we talked about this several months ago. Um, all the TV shows that Star Wars makes that fucking they use the Unreal Engine to actually do the wraparound screens. They will be using this new technology, so our CG experiences will be better
Hmm.
because this is officially out now. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Very cool.
Good stuff.
Very cool
Yeah,
indeed.
yeah. We'll see. I feel like we're coming to a little bit of a diminishing returns point, um, where graphics are really we've gotten so close over these last, let's call it 10-15 years, for photorealism. Now it's about being able to do photorealism with a machine that doesn't have a dark sun put inside of it to run it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
so it's really just about making it easier to use the application itself. And we're gonna keep obviously getting nice looking things. Um, I just like, and again, as an Alex Queen of the guy thing, yeah, cool. More white dudes with short, more Alex Quinos in gaming. Do we need that? No,
No,
we don't.
no,
Like we sure as shit don't.
no.
But I think that it's of course always better when it's easier to create, because that means that more things will be able to be extrapolated from that point,
Mm.
right? If it's easier to do this, then that means if you want to do something crazy, it will be that much easier to do, rendering wise and base technology wise. So I think that's a really good thing.
That and the simple fact of if it's easier to get to point A, the level of entry to do that is then lower as well. More people get
That's
the
correct.
opportunity and uh, have the chance to begin progressing further in from
That's
getting from point A to then that harder challenge of point triple Z or whatever.
right. Right. That's exactly correct.
Yeah.
And that's always a good thing, because that
Yep.
means we can see some real innovation and stuff.
Mhm.
My hope is now, again, I have not looked into it because I am not working in that. I only worked in Unity. Um, I hope that they did a bunch of stuff for animations to make animations easier, with rigging in particular.
Mhm.
Because I think that one of the biggest things that we still lack, yeah, we could make a dude look like a dude, but the way that humans move is so fluid and almost complicated that your eyes kind of glaze over it. Whereas you watch some shitty walk animation, you're like, oh god, gee, good god.
Yeah.
Um, I just hope that there's more base stuff there too, where it's like, yeah, you just kind of plug, and then you hit the play, and it does a more fluid animation. Because that is a bigger ask than making graphics look pretty.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Alrighty. So,
This is a wicked good.
you know what? Seeing how we're talking about engines still,
Yup.
I'm gonna kind of segue into this other one,
Sure.
which kind of is both terms of engines, both video game engines and car engines.
Okay.
Apparently, there's a lesser known game. I don't even know if it made it out of Tokyo, called Assetto Corsa. It is a racing game, and the big thing about this is the player base community has added a mod to the game that makes the rain and like street conditions and the mist that comes up from the cars in front of you look
Ooh.
almost realistic, to the point of when it hits the windshield and then like squiggly lines up
Yeah, it
as the
runs.
wind is pulling it back. Yeah, it looks almost photorealistic.
That's awesome.
It's better than Gran Turismo 7 and Forza Horizon. Yeah, like they put a lot of shit into this.
That's awesome.
Now, having said that, though, this Assetto Corsa game also came out like 6-7 years ago. So it's
Hmm.
not as technologically advanced. So there's more space for these fan made mods to do things.
Oh,
Whereas like GT7, which just came out a little while ago, it's kind of pegging the systems to the limit. So there's not a lot of leeway for players to do anything there. Plus it's also PS5 exclusive, I think. But it really then comes into a thing of, it's like, yeah, we were just ragging on new engines to make things pretty. But at the same time, it's also like, okay, well, what's the game you're making? Do you need to make certain things better, or do you need to get the things that are in there and make them actually look pretty? And in this case, I would kind of say you really want to have some of the effects, like the rain and mist, actually be pretty. Because if you don't, you wind up with the cum rain that
Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto had, and no one liked that.
Well, I mean, you could like that, no judgment.
Well,
like,
yeah. I mean, you could
but
like
it
Come
really
Rain,
did look
but
bad. But it did look bad.
yeah.
That looked really
Oh
bad.
Oh
my.
my, indeed. Huh.
Yeah, see, that's awesome. And frankly, so I like racing games. I like racing games in the arcade though. If I was to ever get into racing games, the net code would have to be fantastic. I would have to have some sort of pedal rig with a wheel rig and a fucking stick rig. My favorite series of all time um, is actually based on an anime, and it's actually cell shaded. Um, so, and it's called Initial D. It's from a series that was in '94, I think, is the first one. It's about drift racing.
Cool.
And I love that shit. Like that's like absolutely my bread and fucking butter jam. Like based on an anime, based on drift racing, realistic. It has uphill and downhill. They're very short courses. But something like that, like where it makes the weather more realistic because they did have like basically they had rain, right?
Mhm.
But it was always like
Yeah.
and then the track was just slick, so you'd have to deal with but it didn't actually run up your windshield or anything, or even having to have your windshield wipers on. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That could be a really cool. That's kind of a proof that like that could be really cool.
Oh god,
But
yeah.
I think like the other thing about driving games that I don't love about online, um, not every because you can race in third and then 3.5 and then first person. Traditionally, you have those three camera views.
Mhm.
I would like a game that was like, no, dude, you're just if you're going into this set, like, so I set up a match, everyone's got to play in first person. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this is, and that's what the game is going for. Um, and something like that in that would be amazing
Oh god,
because
yeah.
you could add all those cool fucking bullshits, but most people they play in 3 or 3.5,
Yeah.
and that doesn't affect them. Like I feel like that, that I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally see what you're going for there.
Thank you.
I will say this: after having watching both the video for the Assetto Corsa and
Mhm.
the comparison that they had of Turismo 7,
Mhm.
Gran Turismo 7, yes, it does. It makes it look really nice and look really pretty. A lot of what they showed though, like with the wipers, yes, they moved the snow and rain and like that to the side. There was little pile-ups of it, but then that was it. It would just like disappear kind of a thing. Whereas with
Oh,
this mod, the wipers push it to the sides. It gradually will continue like going off the side of the windshield and
like
then appear
actual
on
snow.
the side window
Oh,
itself.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome.
So I mean, the guys who made this mod, they put in tons of work to do
That's
this,
awesome.
and
That's
it's
awesome.
like, wow, this is a passion project and then some.
See, it is like that, and we say this a lot here, but I feel like shit like that is those dudes have more heart than any of the robots at Ubisoft.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh
And
yeah.
they're doing it for $0.
Yep.
Like, I don't know. I respect that so much. You know
Mhm.
what? Here's that mod.
Yes, very much so.
That
Some
is
like Come
fucking
Rain.
dope.
Yeah, well, some do.
Some do. All right. Who's next?
Not gonna judge it.
So, speaking of racing, look how good I can do this. Um, so F1 Delta Time. Do you know what that is?
Formula One, and
Yep.
then like change.
The name of the game. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
like I'm literally going off of direct what it is because Delta
I mean,
is
that's
change.
yep.
So
This is going to be very quick-ish, but I would like to talk about it.
zoom.
F1
There it
Delta
goes.
Time is a game about F1 racing, which I do actually like. Formula One is
Yeah.
a pretty good. You can actually see right. Oh, did my head just get in the way? This big box right here is a board game about F1 racing. It's actually pretty good. Anyways, um, this was one of the first official NFT crypto powered games that for racing, if for nothing else, they launched back in 2019. 2019. So this is
Okay.
2 years even before we started talking about all
Yeah.
this ridiculousness.
Okay. Yeah.
Closed its doors on March 29th this year. So, the game was a top-down racer that you, and by the way, the game was not good. I watched an entire video of a dude playing it, and by playing it, I mean it was basically like, do you remember those? You remember back in the day, those little like track racing ones,
Mm-hmm.
cart like where you go vroom vroom, and that
Yep.
was all you could do.
Yep.
Cool. That's what it was, ostensibly,
Mm.
but you had no control over it at
Ooh.
all, none. But the cars were all NFTs. They did not go very far into customization, even. They were kind of a bare bones way to look at NFTs. The average purchase of a high ranked car was $100,000. The biggest purchase that was made was multi-purchase was $300,000. The company that owned them was unable to renew the F1 license and they closed their doors. So now all those 100,000, 300,000, 50,000, all of those cars that were purchased, Zippo.
Yep.
They're worth nothing. The company had put out a presser saying, we're going to try to get you an NFT of equal value to replace your money. Yeah, that eyebrow is the perfect response of this. Uh-huh. And if you shit in one hand and you wish in the other, I will tell you which one is going to fucking fill up faster.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is just our weekly warning. Very quick. This is a game. You bought NFTs and they raced. Yeah. And that was 2019. I'm surprised that it made it as far as it did. They broke it. That was almost 3 years.
Yeah.
You know, almost 3 years. But dudes were spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on these pieces of shit, and literally all of them got cucked. Now, just looking at our viewer bases, none of us make hundreds of thousands of dollars. Please don't purchase NFTs.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done now.
Yeah. Blue even sat there and said, "Don't buy NFTs."
Don't buy NFTs.
Yeah,
Nobody buy NFTs. No, nobody
no.
do that. Yeah. So, yep, there we go. Done.
Cool. You know what? We're on a streak here. I'm gonna go back into the racing fun stuff. Gran Turismo 7. We're going back here.
Sure.
I've actually got 3 things for this, but we're gonna very quickly go over some of these very fast. Apparently, players have found the easiest way to grind the coins in this game, or the in-game currency, is to go AFK. Yes, I kid you not.
What, start a race and then just go AFK?
Pretty much. What this is you can do the remote play, because it's a PS5. It's a PS5 game. You can remote play it to your PC, record the match or record the race, and just go to sleep.
And then it'll just run it, and it's still counting it.
Yep. Yeah.
Absolutely. I won't say that's bad QA, because, I always support the QA boys, but that's bad QA. A fucking recording shouldn't count for anything.
Well, okay, look at it this way, though. When the director of the game was interviewed in regards to the cost of the cars in game, Let's see if I can still very quickly find the quote on this.
Well, then the fucking money prices should have gone down.
Should
Like,
should have.
right? Like, because I can shorthand this for you.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
he was gonna say was, well, I mean, the prices are really expensive, so it doesn't really matter. But then that means that you kind of shirked your fucking responsibilities too. So QA shirked their responsibilities, and then now you're in the limelight, and you're like, well, these things are pretty expensive, so that's fine too. It's like, what?
Well, see, that's the thing is he's sitting here saying that yes, these cars are really expensive in real life, but we don't want our players to sit here and have to grind to be able to afford these cars in the game, but we still need these cars in the game to have some sort of monetary value. So therefore, let's make the price of a main game exceedingly expensive. And it's like, what?
But again, right, I'm a designer, and that just means you should have just lowered the prices of the cars. Like, that's fucking simple.
Yep.
There should be some fucking work around it. You could just do that shit. Like,
Yep.
ugh, that is fucking terrible. That is terrible. And it's bad. It's what do they call that? Dirty pool.
Yep.
Like, that's dirty pool. Like, so, like, ugh.
Oh, it gets even dirtier, though, is the thing.
Okay.
One, this is always online, so you can't
the RM.
take it offline. You can't just play if you all of a sudden lose internet connection. You're actually like kicked out of the race or something.
Classic.
It's very microtransaction heavy. So yay.
Now classic.
Yeah.
Another new classic.
Yep.
Sure.
The development studio is sending mixed messages on this, so it's like, hey, guess what? We now have the lowest first-party Metacritic score on Sony PlayStation. Yay!
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
And then your response is, oh, I mean, that seems okay.
Yeah, exactly. And the simple fact of it is the lowest, and this is the kicker, first-party game.
Right, Sony made that.
Yeah. So Sony it's like, ooh, Sony, quit kicking yourself in the nuts.
No, because they're like, well, what are we going to do? Fire him? He's not in marketing. We can't fire him.
Yeah.
I feel like, okay.
The kind of good thing of all of this, though, with all the bad shit that has been going on for this, because another big thing that the player base has been complaining about is, in previous Gran Turismo games, you could apparently buy cars and then sell them or trade them or whatever. There's no marketplace in this one. So what the development studio has kind of done to appease the player base, yes, I'm putting big quotes around that one.
Yikes.
They're issuing all players 1 million in-game credits with a promise to do better. And it's like, your promise to do better, guess what? You should have done that from the get-go, because you really aren't doing it now.
Okay, so 2 thoughts here. One, clearly your base fucking wasn't checked. Like, your designers didn't give a shit to like check the values of these like high value cars, right? Like, because I will say he is right in the respects that you want these cars in the game, right? And you want people to have access to them. But by you going, oh, well, the prices were too high, and to let this loophole fly is bullshit, like absolute garbage.
Right.
And to go, oh, well, here's $1 million, as opposed to going, oh, all right, you know what? Because again, I'll tell you, as a designer, all of those values are just on an Excel sheet, and you could just go through, change the fucking values, and then update that patch, which would be about 0.1 meg, like, and update those values would be, I'll be realistic, like without hyperbole, 2 weeks worth of work, like with a designer, a coder, and one single tester. And they're just laming it out like fucking cross-teching.
Oh, yeah.
Like that is unbelievably weak, dude.
Yep, very much so. Especially considering the simple fact of a lot of what players want sometimes is just they want what is quote unquote cool. So in other words, you could come out with a car that is a literal flaming shit on wheels with an engine, and you push the pedal and it go vroom, and price it
Them goes Burr.
yeah, and price it as though it were a F1 Formula racer, and people would be like, "Yep, gonna buy that one because it's funny and cool."
Yeah, that is certainly, and to be pushing microtransactions and then have your non microtransaction side to be so fucked. How many times do we have to see this? Like in modern times, how many times do we have to see this where a developer makes an economy? I don't fucking pick a genre, and the people who put in real world dollars are way ahead of the people who are trying to grind it out. And the people who are grinding it out have to do it for hundreds of times the amount of time versus actual in-game money. Like, and then to be like, I mean, here's our answer. Here's $1 million. Like, it just feels so like disingenuous and shitty.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like,
yep.
That's such shite, dude. That is such shite.
I will say this, especially considering it is especially very shitty, considering the simple fact of the way they worded it with them trying to do better. It's like, ooh,
sure.
I would.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah, I would not go there right now, especially considering the shit that Twitch got over. Twitch do better? Yeah, no.
I mean, just like in general, how many fucking times do we have to like just be like, dude, can we just have games that are like even and fair?
Yeah.
Like, how is that a hard concept for like I don't know. And again, I get it. Like, it is hard to make and design games. I get it. Trust me, I've worked in it. You've worked in it. Like, we understand that. But the fact of the fucking matter is, if you whiff super badly, you should go, that was on us. We didn't do our due diligence. And here we are going to make up, and especially with balance things. Balance things are just numbers in Excel docs. You just go back, you fucking re-upload the new numbers, and you go there. Sorry, that was on us.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fucking ass. That's ass on butts. And furthermore, butts on ass. Like,
and not the good kind.
No. So speaking of butts on ass, did you see that fucking Activision Blizzard? Yeah, here we go.
Yep.
Activision Blizzard removed their company vaccine mandate effective immediately, which happened literally yesterday.
Yep.
It's a shame because at the core of the game is really good. Right. And that's like that's a really good point. Like, and that's the problem with when shit like this happens, is like a good game can be ruined by something like this.
Oh yeah.
Like that at the end of the day, that's the worst part about it. Okay. So employees no longer need to be fully vaccinated against COVID-19 in order to return to the office. Dude, are they purposely thinking of everything that they could possibly fuck up before Microsoft? Because I know that the Microsoft drones haven't flooded into this office yet because of exactly this story. Like,
oh yeah,
are you kidding me? Like, say what you will about this merger, Microsoft wouldn't have done this.
No,
they wouldn't have done this. And the fact, and then guess what happened? A shit ton of people walked out.
Yep.
They were like, nope, fuck you. This is bullshit. Like, oh my God, dude. It's like they are literally trying to tank their entire reputation and stock prices, like all in one fell swoop. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Pretty much. And the other thing that makes this even worse than what it actually is the simple fact of, it's not just a thing of, hey, we're removing our COVID vaccination requirement to be in the office. It's, hey, we're removing this requirement and come on back. We're not doing the remote anymore, is the thing.
Right.
I mean, if it was just, hey, we're removing the vaccination requirement, it's like, okay, I'm going to continue working remote until you guys get your heads out of your asses. No, it's doing a little of column A and column B at the same time.
Right.
And it's like, huh?
And I like, dude, I do not want to make this into a pro-vaccine, negative
True.
vaccine thing. I just don't. I am a pro-vaccine person because, you know,
Yeah.
I'm alive and I'm a human.
Yeah.
Um,
And kind of want to
but
stay that way.
right, and I would like to do that for everyone that I come in contact with. But um, it's just so fucking tone deaf. It is so tone deaf. Like,
Yes.
once again, it's another fucking thing with Activision Blizzard coming out being like, hey, so, well, I guess we could just all come back to the office. It doesn't. I'm just gonna work this forever. Like, dude, what the fuck, bros? Like, what are you fucking doing? Like,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, they really, like you said, they either are trying to intentionally tank the company so it's worth nothing, or they just are completely and totally incompetent.
Wipe that on myself, by the way. Just so you know.
Don't worry, I won't tell. It's only on Twitch.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. That's where my boogers go. They go on myself. All of my own negativity only ever lands on me, so you're good. Yeah, it's just another one of these. Like, seriously, how many times are we gonna do this? It's the song that never ends. It goes on, my friends. Like, what the fuck? Like, good God. Like, oh my God. You think at this point they would be like, okay, everyone that comes back who is vaccinated gets free back rubs and can stay in office. Anyone who doesn't want to get vaccinated can stay home and we will ship you $1 worth of chocolate. Who cares? And then put that out publicly that we're, you know, whatever your viewpoint, we are still gonna support you, and we're just being like a cool like company. No, they physically cannot do that. They like are like, all right, well, we've fixed that fire. That
Let's
building
start a new one.
Right, that building mostly burned down, and then somebody's just like grabbing a burning log and like walking directly at another building, and they're like, "Good job, Frank. Keep it up, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff." Like, it's unfucking believable, bruv.
Yep.
I think we got time for one or two more, and it is on you. And I am gonna go grab a beery boy.
Okay. Vaccination isn't completely safe or effective, one could argue. One could argue that, but this is not the place for that. That's what I'm going to say. All right. So, apparently, people like ripping people off, apparently. And the current one to do that right now is Fortnite. Well, is Epic with Fortnite. The reason why I say this is because apparently what's going on is a choreographer by the name of, and I'm probably going to butcher the last name, Kyle Hanagami, I guess that's how it's pronounced. He is suing Epic Games over a dance emote he created and choreographed the entire thing and has copyrighted the entire dance. Epic decided, you know what, we're going to have this in our Fortnite emote shop, whatever it's called. I don't know. I don't play the game. And charge $5 for it. And not get permission or give credit where it's due. And Epic's just being the bad guy. Yay, Epic. Let's give them fuck off. That's what we give Epic right now for this. Because always give credit where credit is due, regardless of if it be a choreographed dance emote, whether it be citing references for a research paper. Always give credit where credit is due. But basically, this dance choreographer, he did the It's Complicated It's Complicated dance emote in Fortnite. The name of the dance, without actually pulling up the video, I don't have the name of the dance here. Jeez.
Look how big this beer is, man.
Right?
This, dude, Foster's. What is it?
It,
Australian for beer. There
yeah.
it is.
Uh, it was uh, it was seen in Charlie Puth's. I don't know how to pronounce it. How long was the video? I guess. Um,
This
basically,
comes back, but this comes back to. Do you remember when they did the Carlton dance?
yep,
Right,
yep.
and they got away with it.
Uh-huh.
Like, but
Well,
this is a choreographer.
ah, he
Ah,
was also smart though and copyrighted the entire dance.
yes.
And here's the
Which,
fun.
God,
Here's the best part of it, as far as Epic's side of the argument. You can't copyright things like a dance. Only complex patterns of movements can generally be formally registered at the Copyright Office.
what, you can't do it online?
No. Only complex patterns of movements can be copyrighted. So this entire dance, which he choreographed for a music video,
Wasn't complicated enough for them.
yeah, it's
Make
like
it more complicated.
it's like Epic. You told him, hey, you can't copyright the dance, but you can copyright complex patterns of movement. Here, let me like shoot myself in my foot a few more times. It doesn't hurt enough as is. It's like,
It's such a bizarre. It's such a bizarre like way to like stand. I mean, to be fair, they have been batting 1,000 for these fucking dances. What do you say? Would your husband say?
yeah, he literally gave us the definition.
Right, like, and honestly, like, they've been batting 1,000, so I get why they'd be like, "Fuck it, we're just gonna try it again." But this is like literally a choreographer who did the entire routine.
Right.
Like,
Right.
it's unlike the Carlton dance, like where that's much more small and simplistic.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, some of the things that they've taken are the Carlton dance, like you mentioned, from Fresh Prince of Bel Air,
Mm-hmm.
Backpack Kid. You remember him?
Yep. Oh yeah,
The floss. Yep.
oh, yeah.
Neither of those were copyrighted.
Right.
This was
Those were
though is
internet,
the thing.
right? Exactly.
Right. They were internet memes.
Right.
This was actually copyrighted, and Epic was just like, yoink! Oh, our fingers got caught in the cookie jar.
Hey, they've been batting 1,000. I don't see why they wouldn't try that.
Oh yeah. They
And
would
you know
definitely
what?
try it.
And frankly, what do they care? Like, okay, fine, you win,
Here,
and they hit, and you get hit in
wads
the
of
face.
cash in your face.
Right, you get hit with the fucking hundreds, and you go, all right, well, good enough. Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So before we go, I would like to talk about the last thing that I have. Did you see that the streamer Sakai beat Elden Ring without taking damage of any kind?
What? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
That's okay. Did you see that the streamer, his name's Sakai, he beat Elden Ring without taking damage of any kind?
Yes, I did see that.
130 hours. That's absurd. It was 130 hours plus.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, that probably didn't count his initial shit ton of runs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the run that he ended it with, 120 plus hours. Man, that's impressive. Like, because think about all the shitlord ass enemies in that game that could just randomly ping you for one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That definitely is very interesting, I will say, because it's there's just so many little things.
Right. There's so many ways. He could have fallen a little bit extra because that game is not very good at telling you fall damage. Like, he could have just taken 2 hit points from a fall damage, or a random bat that he didn't notice go, and it just hits him in the back of the head. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's like 7 squillion ways you can take damage in that game.
Mm-hmm.
But he was the first guy to do it with absolutely no damage taken. So that's pretty impressive.
Yep.
So here's to you, bud. Here's a big fat chunky Foster's.
I would toast, but I've only got water, and it's unlucky to toast with water. So,
I agree. I agree.
um, on the Elden Ring note,
Mm-hmm.
Distortion 2, a speedrunner known for Souls games, he has now brought it to below 19 minutes for the NE percent.
They're also still using crazy warps though.
Yeah, warps,
They're still,
zips,
yeah,
things like that. Wrong
yeah.
warps. So
I suspect that over the next, let's call it 6 months, we're gonna see that change. The problem, okay, can I digress for a moment?
sure.
Okay. Here's one of the things that I both like and one of the things that I don't like from PC speedrunning. I do not like that you can use specific versions and like all this warpy bullshit when a game first comes out and you can no clip, and then in the new school days, in the old school games, like there wasn't this much like catch up, you know what I'm saying? People weren't patching games. So like I don't know, that's super lame. Like this shit's going to come out, he's going to have a 19-minute run, and he's going to get the biggest fucking like woo, which I'm totally cool with. But they will eventually patch all these fucking bugs because that's what they are,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then I'm going to say the thing that I like. I like the fact that people are that insane that they can get this shit to happen. But on PC, I will say this. I avoid a lot of GDQ speedruns that are on PC. If you are going to speedrun a game and use glitches, I much prefer it if it's on the physical media and it cannot change. You know what I'm saying? The old school shit where it's like, here's the fucking cart. If you can figure out some new way to fucking break it, good shit. But so many PC speedruns boil down to like, all right, so if I no clip here, or if I jump over here and then I come down here, I basically can fall into the 7th level. Like, I don't know. I just find it to be way less skill based, I guess. And you could argue that typing speed is a skill, and you know, I don't know. Do you see
Right.
what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, as someone who
As
is,
a speedrunner, do you see what I'm saying?
yeah, yes, I totally see what you're saying.
Okay.
Especially considering the simple fact of like I just pulled it up right now. The category that Distortion has at the sub 19 minute here, which actually he hasn't even submitted the his run.
That's interesting.
Yeah, considering the lowest time they have here is 26 minutes, but whatever.
Hmm.
Um, they've got on the board here, they've got a column for version, and there are a number of them here. Like most of them are like 1.03.2, and then there's some others here that are 1.2.1 and like 1.2.2, and it's just like, huh? Some of this just, yeah. I see your complaint there.
Thank you.
To kind of a little bit alleviate that, that's why we keep speedrunners in general tend to keep coming up with more and more categories, though.
I know. And that shit is fun.
Yeah.
Like that shit is fun. Like I think the categories thing is super hella fun. My my annoyance is like if you take a bag of frosting and then you put a tip on the end of it that's a star shape, you're always going to come out with a star shape result.
Right.
You squeeze it, it like, and so I don't know. I find that way less A interesting and B technically impressive.
Mhm.
Like, yes, it takes a lot of time to find these kind of like game breaking speed run bugs. Um, do not get me wrong, I think that's fucking impressive as shit. But to grab every single version of a game and then be like, oh, look what I can do on 1.8, 1.9, like 2.1. I just feel like it should just be like, and eventually, like at a point where it's like, okay, this was the last version. That's it. All these other versions get wiped, and you have to now speedrun this version. That's the end all be all of it.
Yeah.
Like, because like when we got the cartridges, that was it.
Yeah.
This is the fucking cartridge. This is what we got.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't go to Nintendo and go, I would like an alpha copy of Super Mario World, and I will just be taking this. Thank you.
Yeah.
No. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got the one that you got. Like,
Yep. As far as versions on games, though, I will say this because I was actually involved in a discussion that I was a leaderboard on, actually, for Dendara. When they had released the a patch, and then shortly afterwards they had released the free expansion for it. There was some discussion between those of us who were actually active on the leaderboard at the time of, okay, what versions do we want to have be, okay, if you're going to run this, it's on this version. And we kind of went back and forth a little bit, and then we decided, okay, how about we just do it as you're on the latest version, period. Considering at the time, we also brought up the fact, and we did report on this too, Steam was supposedly getting rid of the ability to down patch or back patch to earlier versions of games.
Which we also talked about.
Yep.
Like, what,
I want to say it was about
ago?
this time last year, actually.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was.
So it was a huge thing of, it's like, okay, do we limit it to certain versions? Do we just say it has to be the latest version? Like, what do we want it to be? And considering it was only like 4 of us at the time, it was like, well, what do people want to see moving forward? And I believe it was just a thing of, we were like, okay, it's got to be the latest version of the game, period. End of story. So on speedrun.com, we wrote that into the rules, because all the games and categories and like that, that's managed by the runners. That's not speedrun sitting there saying, okay, hey, these are the rules you got to play by. No, it's the runners sitting there saying,
it's
these
not
are
fucking Galaxy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right.
Yeah.
Like, and I completely, I like that. But again, we're talking about, that is it was 4 dudes, right?
Yeah, right.
Like, the more runners there are, the more convoluted
difficult
things
change.
Right.
Takes. Yeah.
You're talking to the guy who's just trying to unga bunga his way through fucking Elden. You know what I'm saying? I just always wanted to be like this hard, pure skill thing where I can always watch a run and go, holy shit, badass, bruv. Like, I don't want to see no clips. I don't want to see fucking door warps. I don't want to see out of bounds, even, frankly. And, you know, that's just because of me. And that's my own personal tastes. You know, I'm like the guy who I'm like, you know, I'm going to go to bed tonight. I'm like, I'm going to watch a Final Fantasy 6 speed run. That runs for about 9.5 hours. Nailed it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not a lot of people want to watch that, but I do, because I know that it takes skill and shit. Like, you know, so I don't know, like, and because I'm not part of that community, all I can ever be is a soundboard for randos, basically, because I am a rando. Yeah, I don't know.
Having done speedrunning myself, me personally, I prefer, if I'm running a game, I prefer a game where it's execution based. Not really, hey, if I do this thing here, I then clip out of bounds, and then do this other thing, I then warp over to here and do this other thing, and hey, credits. To me, that's just like, oh, okay, you found the glitch and everything. Whoopee. It's not, how good are you at actually playing the game?
Right. And that, I think that's me too. Like, it's like a skill thing, right? That's what we're asking for.
Having said that, though, I do acknowledge, okay, some of these glitches are hard to pull off.
Yes.
Some of them are 60 FPS frame perfect glitches, meaning you have 1 frame a second that you can do this, and if you screw it up, some of them are as hard as like Ocarina of Time, is it, or is it Majora's Mask? I forget which one. Players have gotten into so far into that game that they can sit there and be like, okay, if I face a certain angle at a certain elevation with certain thing in my hand, having taken so many steps and blah blah blah, I can then like drop a bomb, take one step back, shoot myself straight to Ganon's lair, and it's like, okay, that's
That
impressive for just
right,
having all that knowledge.
right,
Um,
and the fact that it took you that much to perfectly execute that.
yeah, especially
That is not the door comes down and now I no clip and I fall into the next level.
right. Especially
You know,
considering some of those tricks on Zelda games are like, oh hey, I set this up in the first like 10 minutes and I don't get the payout or even the execution of this trick
right,
until 2 hours later.
right.
And I hope I don't fuck anything up in the meantime.
Yes, yes. I think it is 100% person based, but I think that God damn it, it's like a fucking my fucking allergy is killing me.
Yeah.
I'm like literally a snot nosed kid right now. Hey, how you guys doing? Um, I'm just gonna
Do
wipe
you
it
want a
off.
sleeve?
No, I'm just gonna wipe it off my own arms because I'm gross. I'll wash my hands next time I go. Um, I think that like to be fair, again, I think I've even said this to you, and I know I've said it to Will. I know I said it back in the day on the fucking Smarter Than the original Smarter Than I podcast. Um, I'm the guy who I would not watch any of the majors. I do not care about the events going on at 3 p.m. I don't give a fuck. I would be there drunk as shit at 2 a.m. watching Pepsi Man and fucking like ridiculous games that I've never seen before. Because that to me, those guys, I'm like, fuck yes. There is like 9 dudes who give a shit about this, and it is super more fun. And like the couch is more fun because more than likely that couch is the rest of that speedrunning
Oh
community.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That's the shit that I care about. So, frankly, I care way less about somebody going into fucking God. I hate PC because it's always like, and if I change now and I change my name to Fart Butts and then I equip 30,000 fucking and then I jump once. Okay, all right, this is gonna load for 9 minutes. So you can read a fucking donation because I have 9 minutes worth of loading screens until I land. Like, God, that is boring.
Mhm.
Like, I want fucking skill. I want skill on weird shit that I have never fucking seen before. And I go, fuck yeah, dude. Like, let's go.
Mhm.
Like, that's the shit. Like, you know. But again, I'm a weirdo, so.
Not necessarily. I mean, honestly, yes, I will acknowledge the marathons. I will acknowledge the prime of games going on. Some of them are interesting to watch. Me personally, like Super Metroid, whenever I see that on the schedule, I'm kind depending on what it is. If it's like a 4-person race, it's kind of like
Or a relay. Or a
right.
relay, even. Yeah, I'm cool with
Or even
relays.
like the Super Metroid Link to the Past randomizer
Mhm.
crossover. Those I'm
Yep,
like, oh hell yeah.
sure.
Blow up Ridley and next thing you know you get
The boomerang.
the boomerang or the hook shot and it's like, wait, that's not in this. Oh, that's right. It's a crossover. Whoops.
Yep.
um
Yeah, like, but again, that takes a lot of intense making to do that
right,
kind of shit. You
right.
know, this is not just like gaming the system.
Yeah.
Like, that's the gig. Like, I don't know. Man, we could have an entire speedrunning episode, like where we just talk about
Yeah.
speedrunning.
Yeah, we really
Like,
could.
yeah, we could drag Will and Paul in here. That'd be fun as shit. Um, all right. Well, do you have one more? What?
No, just the timing of blue with a sound effect.
No, sound effects are so good,
Oh
dude.
yeah,
So
yeah.
good, so good.
Friend stream, you
Yeah,
guys. Thanks. Yeah, no problem, Blue. It's
yeah,
always
of
fun
course,
around
man.
here.
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it is a little after 11,
Yeah,
so
we've gone for 2 hours and 8 minutes.
yeah.
I mean, which is roughly our normal time. I don't know why you did like jazz hands right there.
Mhm.
And jazz hands. Imagination.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go say goodbye, and then we'll meet and we'll talk.
Sounds good. Bye,
Perfect.
Alex's stream.
Bye. And bye,
Night, Alex.
Blue. Anybody else? And
Blue, Savage,
Blue
Hubby.
Savage, Abby, of course. Duh.
Yeah.
Man. Touch that man's butt. And you just slap it on the butt and go. From Alex.
Okay.
All right. I'll see you in a minute.
Yep. Get your ass back to streaming, Elden. Tomorrow I will be. But yeah, guys, that'll be it for tonight. Like I said, tomorrow we'll be doing some more Elden Ring. I'm kind of debating on where to go, because obviously I'm going to continue through the story of the game. But I've kind of also set myself up for getting one of the achievements, which is getting all the legendary, quote-unquote, sorceries and incantations. There are 7 total. I think I've got like 3 or 4 of them now. So yeah, that's like my, not only just beat the game, but hey, I've got to complete this goal too before I can say, hey, this run is done. Other than that, though, Elden tomorrow, Friday is Lost Ark, and then hopefully Saturday I'll be back with more Elden. But that'll be it for now, guys. I will catch you all later. Till tomorrow, have a good one. Bye!